different types of text structure. Okay. Number one, text structure is classification division. This is an example of classification division. Alright, we are going to focus here on the summary. Okay, here in the summary, the focus here is in the classification and division. The first part, every sentence here are focused on the classification. And then it goes on up to the last part of the summary. Okay. Next, number two, text structure is chronological. This is an example of an item with the summary under chronological. Okay, just read this in your module. We are not going to use time here because it is too time consuming. Let us just proceed with the summary. Okay, here is an example of the summary. You have a copy of this in your module. Okay. Remember that the summary is a shortened form of the selection. Not all ideas are included here, but the extracted general ideas are all taken into account in giving a summary. Okay, next text structure is problem and solution. Okay, let us proceed with the summary. Now, in the summary, you will notice that in the first half, every sentence in the first half of the summary is focused on the problem. The first half is focused on the problem, and the second half is focused on the solution. In other words, in your summary, you should provide first, or you should focus. You write up with the problem with the first half of the summary, and then the second half should be focused on how you are going to solve the problem. Next, number four, text structure is compare and contrast. All right, read this example text in your module. Okay, for the summary, you will notice here that television and radio are being given similarities and differences. The first half is focused on the similarities, the second half is focused on the differences, and the last part is given both the importance of television and radio. Next, text structure is cause and effect. Alright, under cause and effect, the first half of the summary is focused on the cause, and the second half is focused on the effect. So you should pay attention on what are the things that cause the problem, and then on the last part, the second half, you need to focus on the effect of that problem. Okay. Next, we are going to read the selection and understand. The selection is Que Sera Sera by Chelo de Pantaden. Alright, this is a very long selection. You need to read this in your module. Okay, we are going to proceed now with the following summary guest. Okay, now there is no answer here in your module, so you need to pay attention and try to jot down the items here. Under the question who, the answer is Zia. What? Answer is Zia wants to join other members of her family in going out, but her father wants her to take care of her mother at home. Okay. Now for the question when. The story happened one night. Okay. Next, for the question where. The story happened at home. For the question why. because her mother is going to join them also in going out. Next, the how question. Zaya was able to join them in going out because her mother wants to join them also. Now, for the one sentence summary, everybody in the family is happy when they are together in any activity. Alright, I hope you were able to copy the suggested answers here because these items are not included in your module. Okay, now, here is another direction. Read and study the story below and then make a summary out of it in your English activity notebook. Alright. The title of the selection is The Gift by Richie C. Javier. Just try to read this in your notebook. Okay. Continuation. Another continuation. Alright. Now here is the summary. Notice here, the summary here is not included in your module. This is blank. So this is only my suggested idea for you. Just try to copy this down. And then you would be able to come up with an idea or with a ready-made answer here. Okay, let's just proceed. Just pause the video and then try to copy this down in your notebook. Next, under what I have learned, fill in its blank with the correct answer. A blank is a shortened version of a piece of or a gist. The correct answer is summary. Next, there are strategies to shorten a piece, namely, number 1, describe the main character and the setting, explain the problem and the story. Number 3, provide a comparison or contrast in the story, provide a solution to the problem, and provide a short result to the solution in the problem. Okay. Now what I can do? Read the narrative and answer the activity that follows. Okay. Again, you need to read this in your module because this is somewhat long. Okay. Continuation. Alright, here are the questions. Answer the following questions based from the story. And then use your English activity notebook. Okay, number 1 question. What is the story about? Answer, the importance of family. Again, this answer here is not included in your module, so you need to copy this down. Number 2, what does the title of the story suggest? Answer, the title suggests that you can live without friends, but you cannot live without family. Number 3, sequence the events in the story using the sequence organizer. Alright, we have a sequence organizer here. First, beginning. And at the beginning, describe the main character and the setting. Okay. Here at the beginning, Shekina lives in a big family. By the way, this is not included in your module. This is blank in your module, so you need to copy this down. Shekina lives in a big family and worries that somebody would be bothering her and annoy her. Next, for the middle, here you are going to explain the problem, the things that happened because of it. Okay. For the middle, Shekina did not join her family in the picnic. Instead, she went to a pool together with her friend, but they met an accident along the way and she was hospitalized. Okay. Now for the end. In the end, you are going to explain how the problem is solved and how this story ends. Okay. Now, Shekina's family supported her and did everything to make her happy during hospitalization. She learned a lesson and then realized the importance of the family. Okay. Now, we are going to read another narrative text about family. Try to identify the good values presented in it. Okay. The title of the selection is Beautiful Saturday. Just try to read this in your module because this is somewhat time consuming. Okay. Continuation. and how. Here is the summary. Now, I want you to take down the summary because this is blank in your module. This is only my suggested idea. So you need to pause the video and then copy this down. Okay. Next, in the assessment, choose the letter of the best answer. Write the chosen letter on your English activity notebook. Number 1. This is the first selection. You just need to read this in your module and then let us proceed. Question number 1. Which is the best summary of the paragraph? A, B, C, and D. The correct answer here is letter D. Number 2. Here's the selection for number 2. Then let us proceed. What is the best summary of this paragraph? A, B, C, and D. The correct answer here is letter C. Number 3. For number 3, just read this again and then let us proceed with the question. Select the best summary of this paragraph. A, B, C, and D. The correct answer is letter D. Number 4. Here's the selection for number 4. Again, try to read this in your module and then let us proceed with the question. Which sentence is appropriate to be a summary of the paragraph? Option A, option B, option C, option D. The correct answer here is option A. Number 5. What is meant by the underlined word in the sentence? A dog also sets a perfect example of adaptability. A, fixed, B, universal, C, unchangeable, C, D, established. The correct answer is option B, universal. Number 6. A blank is a shortened version of a piece or a gist. A, summary, B, paraphrase, C, classify, D, praises. The correct answer is option A, summary. Number 7. Which is not a tip for summarizing? A, option B, option C, option D. The correct answer here is option A. Keep your summary quite long. Number 8. It squeezes out through the gap in the doorway. Give the meaning of the word squeeze. Alright? A, smash, B, expand, C, decompress, D, outspread. The correct answer is option A. Next selection. Number 9. Which of these positive values best describes the given passage? A, honesty, B, comparison, C, generosity, D, fairness. The correct answer here is option B, compassion. Number 10. When summarizing a text, if I am not sure what I'm writing, I should A, keep writing, B, keep reading, C, reread the original piece, and D, judge the text with my own opinion. The correct answer is option C, reread the original piece. Number 11. A man found a lonely stray dog in the streets. He adopted it and gave it shelter and food. After a few days, the dog looked happy and content to finally have found his new family. Question. What values did the man show to his dog? A, love and care, B, hospitality and bravery, C, honesty and truthfulness, and D, courteousness and cooperativeness. The correct answer is option A, love and care. This is the item for the next question. Select the best summary of this paragraph. A, option B, option C, and option D. The correct answer here is option D. Number 13. What character trait that best describes that dog in the text? A, content, B, loyal, C, kind, D, helpful. The correct answer here is option A, content. 14. What does the text tell about the dog? A, B, C, and D. The correct answer here is option A. Number 15. You should not include specific details when you summarize a text. A. True. B. False. C. Maybe. D. None. The correct answer here is option A. True. Alright, I hope you have learned something in this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you again.